Hey everyone, today we're talking about Knight. Is he worth using? Is he worth building? What's he good for? And as a new player, are you going to get some value out of him? Now, just want to say that do reference a lot of my other guides when watching some of my future videos because I'll refer to them. It gets really difficult when explaining a lot of things because I'll have to explain this and then go on an explanation about what to do and not to do with that. And the videos just get really long and really tedious for a lot of people to watch. So at certain points, I'll tell you to reference to one guide or reference to another guide, just for ease of viewing the video. Now let's begin. The knight has two EXs: his bow, which is called Libera Type B, and his sword, which is just called Libera. Now, okay, where is it? Okay. Anyways, but this is his main weapon. It's the one you're gonna get for free from his story, but it's actually the worst version of his weapon. But this is where it gets really dicey because you get a free weapon for him, and for a lot of new players that looks really nice. You get a free character, you get all the evolution stones you need to fully evolve him, you get a bunch of other awakening stones, a bunch of resources, and even his EX. So it looks really nice that, wow, you're getting a really nice hero built for free. But that's not really the case because Knight with Sword is pretty bad, okay? And there are some, keyboard warriors out there that are going to argue, oh, Knight's not that bad. Knight's not that bad. He's pretty good. He's great for story, He's great for endgame content. He's great in PvP, great in raids. And he's not good in story. He's not. What? The two hardest difficulty places for a new player are World 10 and 11, and he's absolutely horrible there. He has no self-sustain. He provides nothing to the party. If you have Libera, right? Let's just slap on a normal sword and look what he provides to the party. Not much, just damage, but he doesn't provide sustain. He's not going to be doing anything for your party other than providing a small attack buff, which is insignificant. Like, why would you bother with that? There's characters that do that so much better, and his typing's worse in World 10 and 11 too. Now, refer to my best teams guide if you want more information on the team building, but Knight just doesn't provide anything in that regard, right? However, I will give it that the Knight has, a few options he can run. He can run Sharpshooter, he can run Golden Pocket Watch if he's lead. So you do have some build variety for him, but once again, Knight with Libera is trash. You need his bow if you want him to properly function, and him with bow has to be on a basic team. Like, Knight Sword is just bad. Okay, there's no other way around it because you can argue that, oh, maybe on a good team with other good characters, he'll be good, right? No, because Knight Sword is melee. He becomes a melee character, which means he doesn't benefit from Kama-El. He doesn't benefit from Yunha. He doesn't benefit from any super powerful ranged buffer. And it's horrible because of that, so you need bow. But the issue is, with bow, he works with basics. So this means he's not splashable. You can't use him on a lot of different teams. You're not going to get the best value out of him there because then you're just going to have him running around with a pointless party buff and stuff. So what do you do there? This is why you're going to need bow. So if you're going to use Knight, make sure you have his bow. If you don't have his bow, don't bother with it. And terms of, new player usage-wise, if you don't have anything else, you could probably just slap together some random heroes and clear up until World 9. Like, it's not going to be challenging to get up until that point. World 9, you start dealing with some... So, you can't just run around with, headless chickens on your team. But before that, you can literally run whatever. You can run bots, like literal one-star characters, and not give, a care. It's just that easy. Afterwards, you're going to have to properly itemize and build, and Knight's not going to be great for that. And anecdotes don't help. Literally, in Guardian Tales, it's possible to clear all of story with full rare heroes. It's been done before. There's some mad lad on YouTube, I believe, and on Reddit, and even in the official Discord, that beat World 11 and stuff with just Knight alone. Yeah, it's doable. That's the point. It's meant to be a relatively easy game. Guardian Tales doesn't run on a meta standard for most of the content. You can get away with whatever. The rifts, all of story, you can just get away with pretty much whatever you want as long as it's built properly and you play like an actual person. So arguments like that don't work. Like I've said before, in Guardian Tales, there's more efficient ways to play and there's less efficient ways to play. There's no impossible way to play. The only places where there is a set meta standard is endgame raids and high tier arena and high tier coliseum. That's where there's a meta because it's difficult, challenging content against other players who are obviously going to try and itemize and build teams properly for the content in which they excel in. So of course there's going to be competition. In story, you're fighting actual bots, like not like AI characters. You're not fighting real players. Of course it's going to be easy, okay? So it's not a big deal. It doesn't make Knight good, okay? Characters like Kama-El and Claude in Yunha are so good, not just because they're great in story. They're phenomenal in story, but that's not why they're good, okay? They're good because they're versatile. They can do pretty much everything at a good level. Now, stopping with the tangent here, let's actually begin on why Knight is not much value for new players. I think value-wise, he's not going to give you much returns because, like I've said, he needs Bo to work, and with Bo, you're going to need to run him with Yunha. Okay, Yunha and Knight and Bo Knight is actually a pretty good combo that can get you pretty much through all of story perfectly fine, right? Yunha, Maya, and Bo Knight, it's going to be great. You're not going to be struggling too much. World 10 and 11 might be a bit hard if, your characters aren't properly built, which it would be hard regardless. And, you're going to have to dodge a bit more because you're going to take like 30% more damage and stuff. So be careful in that regard, but you'll be fine. The Knight, I'm just going to show you all the Bo Knight teams. All the Bo Knight teams you're going to need. Like, I'm genuinely serious. If you're running a Bo Knight team or a Knight team without Yunha, you're really trolling. Okay, because what are you going to run him with? Please tell me. Explain to me. Oh, you're going to run him with Kama-El? That's phenomenal. Great. Knight's essentially an auto attacker. That's all he is. He's providing nothing else except his auto attacks. At that point, you get more value off of running freaking Hecate, who's going to at least buff your Kama-El in a good manner, right? Like, you get more value out of Hecate in that party than Knight. So where does Knight actually benefit you early on? Okay, let's say maybe you're following the team comps I set for you in the video. Okay, maybe. Let's say you're running the team comp I set for you in the video. This is a team literally any player can build. You will get all 3 characters for free. So let's say you're running that, right? It's great. Now, let's say you slot in Knight. Okay, if we're running Sword Knight here, that's fine. But the issue is, what does he provide to the team? What's he providing that other characters won't be able to do better? What's he doing here? Oh, a DPS? Oh, man. Let me name like 40 different characters that would do more DPS than Knight in that party. Right? Like, Knight doesn't provide much value for beginners. Knight is actually not that bad, though, in actual endgame raids, and the reason is because basic team. That's literally it. He works great on the basic team. Yunha, Knight, Kana, and I believe there's Nari, and then there's another Lan with second EX variation. I never experimented or ran that team, so I'm not too sure about it, but I believe it's better. But I don't have much experience with Lan's second EX, okay? So I'm not going to talk anything about that, obviously, because it's not in my expertise. So I'm not going to say anything about that team, but I have heard it's better. So if you want, research that team. It'll be fine. But outside of that, Knight doesn't do anything special, okay? He might get an Ascension, and, okay, you might be asking, why do I have him limit broken then, if, he's not that good? Because I have Yunha, man, okay? Like, literally, this is my ult account. I don't care about progressing that much. So, literally, when I'm doing boss rush and stuff, I just get my Ascension crystals and stuff. And for this, I need at least 2 teams to clear the highest difficulties. My Mono Dark team clears this with a whole bunch of trials and stuff completely fine. But that's okay, I can't click on that yet. But this is where that second team comes in, right? And that's where I run this team. I'll have my Mariel evolved soon fully. Let's see how far she is. Yeah, like then this team's going to be fine. Obviously, Knight's out of place here, but it's fine because I'm not min-maxing here. He just does what I need him to there, and that's it. If you understand the game well enough to, get value out of characters when they're generally not valuable, you can do that, right? And you're not going to worry about it. So, yeah, that's fine, but chances are if you're watching videos and guides like this, you're a newer player and a player without that much experience to be able to make larger decisions without, asking questions. And that's fine. You learn, you grow as the game goes, and you get better. That's it. It's nothing to feel ashamed or worried about. Don't feel like you have any stupid questions, right? But just before you ask anything, think about it and do some reading. Okay? I'm not being, angry here, but just do some reading, okay? Because a lot of your questions can actually be answered by just reading, right? All the questions that are like, what my party should be, it's tough because there's an infinite possibility of what your parties can be. Well, it's not infinite, it's just exponentially large here, but let's just say infinite for the sake of the video. It's easier than saying exponentially large. But if we would be mathematically correct, there's an exponentially large amount of possible teams. You have to understand the basics for that because due to the amount of teams you could possibly make, it's difficult to answer each and every question on if this team is good or not, or if I can improve this team or not, right? So just do understand that, and yeah, Knight's not going to give you much value as a new player. He's not the worst character in the game, but he's also not, great. He's great in endgame raids with basic team. I guess you can use him in PvP, but there's just better teams, man. There's just better teams. Why would you bother with Knight? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and if you did, subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and I'll see you all later.